So guys, last week here in North America we had two big national holidays. Now the one you're probably more familiar with is July 4th or Independence Day. Independence Day was named after the big hit movie starring Will Smith. And it's a day that we Americans celebrate when we finally told the British that we would no longer tolerate things like extra letters and words like neighbor and color, driving on the left side of the road, and adding too many syllables in words like aluminium. I mean seriously, the word is aluminum. Where did you guys find those extra syllables from? The other national holiday that was celebrated last week here in North America was Canada Day, and that happened on July 1st. Canada Day is the day where Canadians celebrate when their first three original colonies came together to form one nation. Very similar to how the mechanical lines come together to form Voltron, except for with Canada it was 3 colonies instead of 5, and Canada is a lot bigger than Voltron. And as far as I know, there are no mechanical lines in Canada. My oldest son currently lives in Quebec, where among other things he is learning how to speak French better than me and already has been able to do the incredible feat of understanding when someone speaks to him in French in a Quebecois accent. Pretty incredible. I want to be able to tell my son Happy Canada Day in French, and I was about 95% sure the way to do that was Bonne Fête du Canada. Now, I was 5% unsure, so I decided to go to Google Translate to just verify that I was going to say it the correct way. Now, I was pretty skeptical when Google Translate told me the way to say Happy Canada Day in French was Joyeux Jour de Canada. So, luckily there are other ways for me to verify if what Google Translate was telling me was correct or not. One of those ways is to go to Wikipedia. I went to the English language article about Canada Day on Wikipedia, and the cool thing about Wikipedia is for several articles, there are corresponding articles about the same subject in different languages. If you're on the desktop version of Wikipedia, what you can do to find those is you scroll down and you look on the left-hand side for a list of languages, and then you click on the language to see the same article in that language. When I clicked on the link to see the French language version of the Canada Day article, I saw that yes indeed, the name of the holiday in French is Fête du Canada, not Jour du Canada as Google Translate was trying to tell me. I still wasn't 100% sure if the way to say happy in Happy Canada Day was joyeux or bon, so I decided to go one step further and ask YouTube. When I got to YouTube, I typed in the YouTube search bar Bonne Fête du Canada, and one of the videos that came up was this video from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. In this video, he wishes everyone a Bonne Fête du Canada in French. So there it was, settled. The way to say Happy Canada Day in French is Bonne Fête du Canada. Now, I'm sure you realize that not every country elects their smartest people to be the chief executive of the land. However, I think I'm going to go with Justin Trudeau on this one because 1, he speaks better French than I do, and 2, he's from Canada. Now, Monsieur Trudeau does say it a little differently than I do. I say Bonne Fête du Canada, and when he says it's more like Bonne Fête du Canada. But he learned his French in Canada, I learned my French in California. This is probably more authentic. My apologies, by the way, to the people of Quebec for slaughtering that accent. Now, this isn't the first time that I've not trusted Google Translate. As I explained in a previous video, I like to make my grocery list every week in German, and I often go to Google Translate to help me do that. However, I don't care what Google Translate tells me. I really don't believe that German people call corn dogs Ammeishuhn. Also, I think that Google Translate is better in some languages than in others. For example, I try to go to the monthly meetings of the Esperanto Society of Sacramento, at least when we're not in coronavirus shutdown mode. And a lot of times when I've been at those meetings, I have my phone open to the Google Translate app, and someone sitting next to me sees it and they tell me, hey, you really need to download a real dictionary because Google Translate's just not that great in Esperanto. I do think that Google Translate is an awesome service, and I still use it a lot. Google Translate is accurate 98.73% of the time. And yes, that is a number that I just made up off the top of my head. However, just like everything else you find on the internet, you do need to take what you get from Google Translate with some degree of skepticism. Not like that one Facebook friend of yours who reposts everything they see without checking to see if it's true. So I just want to say how much I appreciate the 17 of you who are going to watch my video today. And for the 3 of you who are going to hit that thumbs up button to indicate that you liked my video, you guys are especially awesome. And if you're not one of the 42 people who have already subscribed to my channel, right now is the perfect time to get in on that action, because who knows, one of these days I might hit it big on YouTube, and you can tell all of your friends that you're one of my first 50 subscribers. And believe me, that's going to be some pretty awesome bragging rights in my opinion. Anyway, later in the week I will have another video. I will be talking about Beslama, which is one of my favorite languages. It's a super fun language. It's kind of easy to understand if you're an English speaker, and it's going to be awesome. I'll see you then.